So you're walking around Kugane feeling all proud of yourself when a blue quest marker catches your eye. You come across a handsome fellow named the Wandering Minstrel who sways you with rhythm and rhyme, and now you have a new duty labeled Minstrel's Ballad. Excited for the challenge, you open your duty finder, join the queue, and begin the wait. And now you find yourself here because that was 5 hours ago, and that's a really long time even for a DPS role. So what the hell's going on? Well, my antisocial introvert acquaintance, unless you've been indoctrinated into an FC by your busy, more outgoing friend who dragged you into this anime MMO in the first place, or said FC is too busy raiding to give you the time of day, you will have to navigate a brand new system called the Party Finder, what I like to think of as the other lower IQ half of the Duty Finder. Welcome to class everyone, this is Chimkin Bombstar at the Bombstar Academy, where we take things we just learned and teach them back to the public. And today I'm going to give you a rundown of the Party Finder, how it works, what it's for, and how not to give up on it almost immediately. First off, where is this little Party Finder menu? On your main menu bar, one option will be labeled Party with a little flag on it, and in that menu, you'll find Party Finder near the top. Easy enough, right? Following along? This brings you to a whole new window full of confusing terms and some dungeons and trials you may have heard of before. The Party Finder is, well, it's a Party Finder. It's a tool for enticing and assembling players with similar goals to complete the advertised task. The menus within the Party Finder are fairly straightforward, categorizing primarily between dungeons, trials, raids, and high-end duties. While scrolling through, you'll notice a bunch of listings that have no information on them. What gives? Unfortunately, you just got here, and only have a couple of things available for you to run. The rest are going to say locked duty until you've done what's required to unlock them. Along with all these public parties, there are private ones, found in the tab at the top right. This is used when you already know who you want to queue up with, and don't want stinky randoms join you while you wait for your pal to do their 50th run at the same raid this week. We'll be focusing on the public stuff for now, and how to navigate it, seeing as if you had friends to play with, you wouldn't be here right now. High-end duties make up a large chunk of the people using the Party Finder, and these can also be seen in their own category in the Duty Finder. This content is made up of the most recent Savage tier raids, powered up versions of the normal raids that come out with each expansion on major patches, the most recent Extreme trial, unlocked by doing the normal trial then talking to your local minstrel, and Ultimate raids, the hardest content in the game, unlocked by completing specific Savage raids. Older Savage and Extreme duties make up most of the rest of the players in the Party Finder, usually to farm mounts and glamour pieces. For a more in-depth process on how to unlock these, see me after class in the Quick Lesson YouTube short. So how do you figure out who to play with and who wants to play with you? Lucky for you, you can read. I know you can because you didn't accidentally end up here, trust me. Anyways, the way people find like-minded individuals is through how they advertise their party. It might be a little scary, but you can click on that glowing yellow button in the bottom left of the window that says Recruit Members to get an idea of how things are filtered. When creating a listing, not only is the content you'll be running decided, but also if you cleared the content and are looking to do runs for loot, or if you haven't cleared it and are looking to make progress towards clearing it. This is called prog, or progging by the way, a term you may have heard of before while watching people clear content you swear looks like an acid trip, and yet they are ballerina dancing the hell out of it. But like, seriously, how the hell do they do it? Along with these static decisions, there's room for a small description in the comment section, where some things like ideal prerequisites, what strategies are being used, and what progression goals are being aimed for are listed so people don't ask when they join. These help to ensure the party knows what they're getting into before deciding to join one party versus another. Big note here when it comes to strategies, nearly its own lesson really. For the most part, you can watch a video on the content you're trying to do. I personally watch Hector Hectorson Hector Lectures, but there are a couple of others that are also excellent. This will generally be the strategy or strat you are following, with small adjustments or decisions for specific mechanics being decided in each party, like how a buddy system might work. The things that most people collectively do on Party Finder for different duties is referred to as PF strats, and it's something you learn by doing content with random people in Party Finder for long enough, or asking nicely, and hoping they respect you enough to give you a real answer. A party's description may use terms like T, H, M, and R for tanks, healers, melee, and range respectively, CW and CCW for clockwise and counterclockwise respectively, and other little notes that are specific to the content you are running. Minor spoiler ahead for current raid tier content. An example would be if you were trying to do a current tier Savage raid like P5S, also called Abyssos, the 5th Circle, Savage. You'll see a lot of terms like THN Prio CW, MR Prio NW CCW, which might mean nothing to you right now, but someone who knows the content understands that that means during a specific mechanic, tanks and healers will look for a pool starting north and going clockwise, while melee and ranged DPS will start looking northwest, going counterclockwise. We also see the prog goal of Devour to Clear, which means I'm not allowed in because I haven't gotten past Devour, but this is about you, not me, and you probably don't know what any of that means. And this is why those aforementioned videos are important, so you can learn what the mechanics are and know what the party is asking of you. But what if you're too lazy to watch the video and instead want to die 30 times before you finally understand a mechanic? In that case, you can host or find a party with the description of Blind Prog, which means you and the people you're going in with don't need to know the mechanics. You'll be learning them together. While the market is much smaller, it is actually quite fun and I recommend trying it for extreme level trials. There's a good chance as well that someone with some knowledge of the fight will join, but not say anything about the mechanic outright. They will typically be willing to explain it when things start to get way too frustrating and you need a way out. When are you going to be using the Party Finder anyways? Why not just use the Duty Finder? Well, some content is too damn hard, and isn't at all required by the game to complete, and in these situations, you won't have hundreds of people lining up to do it because they'd rather be lounging on an island sanctuary, drinking Kool-Aid, and getting the suntan they'll never achieve in real life. So we have the PF as a little hub for the sweats to grind out the difficult content. It really shines for raiding, grinding, and finding members for a static raid party. You could stick with a group for a couple hours usually to try and clear, or collect totems for mounts, or roll in equipment drops if the leader allows it. The content that you'll be doing in PF is pretty much the only way you'll find anyone to do said content without an FC. Statics. You've probably heard it said a couple times now, but you've been too afraid to ask what exactly it means. If you googled it, it said something like, static, lacking in movement, action, or change, especially in a way viewed as undesirable or uninteresting. And honestly, it's not that far off. A static is a collection of players you consistently group with to complete difficult content, typically scheduled and organized in such a way to benefit the entire raiding party. This typically comes with the benefit of a form of verbal communication, which makes completing content as a team consistently so much easier. You also might even become friends with them and do other content. Some statics will also change what role they are playing for each clear, so as to learn how to play other roles and get a better overall understanding of the game. Basically, statics are how people get things done in this game. Good luck doing an ultimate with random players you can't talk to, because an organized group can take weeks to get their first clear and have to grind even more to make sure everyone gets the loot from the content. If you've been following along in game, you're a much better student than I thought you would be, and you may have noticed I've elected to skip a large chunk of the listings that you've seen in the Party Finder. After getting past the dungeons and trials, a sea of none with colorful descriptions stick out like a sore thumb before the locked content at the bottom. These, for the most part, are venues and services. That's right, it's a bunch of social settings for people to hang out and relax in. Calm down, grab your paper bag and breathe. I can hear your boots shaking from here. Most of these are actually fairly pleasant, light RP locals that you can buy overpriced drinks in and talk about. I honestly don't know. I'm also shaking in my boots. I don't go to them. Socialization is scary, and the RPers are even scarier. Have you been in Limso since you started the game? It's a nightmare. There's so many cat girls and...
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Sorry about that. The venues are actually quite nice and fun to hang out in. You can make friends or just watch people dance. Some even have DJs on twitch.tv that you can listen to while you hang out, if you have the bandwidth for it. You might even be able to find a job in one if you're so inclined, where you can make gil for a few hours of your time. You can also find services such as materia crafting and delivery services. A friend of mine delivers pizza in their spare time. You can really do anything. The Party Finder is an amazing tool for clearing the more difficult content in the game when you don't have a large enough group of friends to go in with. While you may occasionally run into bad players, it's easy enough to blacklist them to optimize the people you play with. On top of doing content, you can also find social settings to hang out in for when you finally clear that savage raid you've been grinding all week. The people in PF are generally super nice and are open to answering any questions and teaching you what they know, so don't be afraid to ask them. Using the filtering tools provided, they'll be in the same headspace as you and will know what it is you're talking about. Who knows, you might find people you really enjoy doing content with and could end up creating a static party to start doing the hardest content in the game. The first step is unrolling from that blanket burrito of yours and finding the right party for you. And if there isn't one up, don't be afraid to make your own. People won't join unless they're looking for what you're looking for, so it'll be the most optimized party to clear that content. That's it for today's lesson. For more in-depth looks at the Party Finder recruitment options and unlocking content for the Party Finder, look for the Bombstar Academy quick classes on my YouTube shorts. Leave a comment for what the next lesson should be over, and like and subscribe to see it before your classmates do. And don't forget to study, this will be on the quiz.